Karthik and Sid. Together with our dog Everest, we're traveling in our old school camper van from Toronto to Patagonia. And after spending 7 months in Mexico, we're finally making the way to cross into Guatemala.
First, we are gonna get something to eat and drink before we go on a 3-hour drive. Because border crossings are usually very hectic, so we wanna have some calm time before the storm.
Are you ready, buddy?
It's a local dish of Chiapas, and it's stuffed banana with something that's equivalent of meat, but it's not meat.
I'm getting myself one last Mexican meal before we head out of here. Very classic enchiladas. Let's see what Guatemala has to offer in terms of food options.
Angalu, Papa, skip off, wipe kar do. Mission, clean the van.
Pop, pop.
All the time. Everest, clean paws, Mr. Clean Paws, do up.
We're about an hour away from the border. Very rainy drive in the beginning. Has not been a nice, smooth drive so far. We're gonna reach there by 5:30, so I don't think we should cross the border today. It's probably too late. It's gonna get dark by the time we get there, and there's still a lot of things to do, a lot of paperwork to do to bring the van inside. So I think we're just gonna find a place to sleep.
We are trying out this new thing that we heard from our friends called Auto Hotel, which is like a hotel for your car. So you kind of park your car and you sleep right above it.
This looks pretty interesting. Our van will definitely not fit into this garage. That's like a regular size home garage, but the room is right behind it. Pretty simple room, I would say, for 680 pesos.
Just for you, baby, just for you. Alright, we are up early in the morning, utilize the shower, clean to move into a new country. We are on the way to get some money. Guatemala currency, it's Quetzal.
It just gave me my card back and not my money.
Karthik went to the ATM, that was a fail, the money never came out. Argued with the customer care for a bit, nothing happened. So now whatever money we have, I'm gonna go try and exchange it at a bakery. You tell this bakery guy some money and he changes it. They don't have Quetzal.
I think we should just go to the border, and figure it out there.
Yeah.
Alright, so let's talk about process. I'm not gonna break down the entire process in one go because it's gonna be a little complicated. First step is to cancel our tip. If you saw our Baja video when we got the tip, for all the OG viewers, basically it's the import document for your vehicle to be legally in the country. You have to put a deposit in when you get the tip, around $200 something. Now I'm gonna cancel it and get that $200 back.
Mexico. It's Mexico. He's saying it's so nice.
Okay, before we go to the Guatemalan border, they expect you to have an exit stamp on your passport from the Mexican side. So we have to surrender these FMM cards. Again, if you watch the Baja series videos, you'll know what these are. Then the Guatemalan immigration will accept us.
Okay, that was pretty straightforward. Didn't ask me any question.
Yeah, because I did all the answers.
Yeah. Like you were supposed to? I was like, yes. Like, okay, here you go, bye. Karthik has gone to the visa office in Guatemala. It looks like a mini, like a trailer, it's not an office. And Everest and I are just patiently waiting. So what's the update?
He gave me everything, no problem.
He gave my stamp too?
He gave both our stamps, all good. But I always had the impression that you told me that we have to get 90 days for 4 countries.
Yeah.
But he only gave me 30 days. And he's saying that once you get to El Salvador or Honduras, they're going to give you another stamp.
No.
And then once you get to another country, they're going to give you another stamp. Now I'm going to go and figure out how to do the tip. That's the van that's standing outside. The truck is giving out tips. So I got to go do that.
The import permit is very tricky. They don't have a bank here. So they make you go to the local bank. And then you do a transfer to the officer or like the bank account of the import permit account. And then you get a receipt and then you come back. But you have to walk to the village on the end of this road to do this whole transaction, which can take a while.
So the permit will not start until you pay for the permit first. So I've come into this random plumbing shop, which is also a bank, to pay for the permit, and they accept pesos, luckily, because we don't have local currency yet. And it's 160 quetzales, which is a local currency, which equates to 460 pesos. Pretty standard process. He's checking out the car, making sure I have the ownership of the car. God damn. This took much longer than expected, although it's a much easier process than the Mexican side. Super easy, like you don't even have to show any photocopies or anything. They just pretty much do everything for you. So weird thing is that they give you car permit for 90 days, but your visa is only 30 days. So I don't know how that makes sense at all. But he's saying you have 90 days to be in Guatemala. So I guess if your visa expires, you gotta go out and come back in. Even though we're not planning to spend 90 days here, that's for sure. And then they do give the sticker, which you're supposed to put on your car.
This is the SAT office where you get your import permit. This is the visa office?
No, visa office was behind it.
Okay, what is this office? This is area de inspección.
Finish? Gracias!
By the time we got done with our last inspection, it was pitch dark. We came out straight to the village, got a SIM card so that we have internet and connectivity. It was too dark to drive, new country, new roads. We have no idea what we are signing up for, so we decided to come to a hotel. There is nobody in this town that takes credit cards, and we don't have enough cash. Like, all the cash we had was the exact amount we used in all the paperwork. We begged this guy to let us stay in his parking lot of the hotel for 200 pesos. And honestly, we had to like vacuum out our car to find 200 pesos. Like every nook and cranny we had to find, like possibly there will be a coin, there will be a coin. And now we have 188. So we are still...
Oh, we still don't have 200? You said we do.
No, we have like 190. So I'm going to convince him to give us a 10 peso discount. 20.
20.
30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90.
He's laughing. He's laughing. Solo mezcal? Mezcal?
¿Cómo?
Mezcal.
¿Mezcal?
Yeah, you want? Yeah?
Sí.
You want? खुश हो गया बंदा mezcal देख के. I don't think they have mezcal in Guatemala. Guatemala mezcal, no?
¿Sí?
Bien.
Pero viene de allá.
Oh,
Ajá, sí.
en México.
Ajá.
En Guatemala no.
Guatemala no.
Oh.
A few mezcal shots.
Salud, amigo.
Hola, amigo.
Salud.
Bienvenido a Guatemala.
Gracias, muchas gracias.
Let the good times roll. Let's say good morning. Blasting music. And this chicken started yelling at like 5 a.m. Good morning. First morning in Guatemala. We woke up early to the noise of loud music and a lot of chicken around us. Adios. Thank you. Gracias. Muchas gracias.
We're on our way to Copan. Around 6-hour drive, 300 or so kilometers. Already started the drive bright and early.
Alright, we are in our first city and in the central market trying to find an ATM. Let's see.
Okay, so let's show you guys what the quetzals look like here, and we have to get ourselves familiarized with the currency too. So why don't you guys learn along with us?
These are quetzals. They are not the most pretty looking bills, I will be honest, but this is 100 quetzal,
You wanna see?
a 50 and a 10. So 10 quetzal is 100 rupees.
We're doing our first fill up in Guatemala, and I always thought the gas prices are cheaper here. And another thing that's interesting to notice is that they're pricing it based on per gallon. Even though the entire country runs on the metric system, I don't know why they're using gallons here. When you're moving with your kitchen, you can bring your own condiments out. And that's what we always do.
Breakfast is done. It was 65 quetzals, so I'm giving her 70 for tip. There you go, gracias. 65 quetzals is around $12.
Take the ferry, then continue straight.
GPS suddenly said, in 300 meters, take a ferry. And I'm like, what? We're on the highway. And boom, we are in front of a river. We are still 2.5 hours away. Our arrival time is 5:30, so almost at dark. We've been driving since 8 a.m. and we'll arrive at 5, so that's almost like 8 hours of driving.
Alright, so after 10 hours of driving, we have found ourselves at Casa Tenango.
Casa Tenango.
Casa Tenango Hostel. There's no way I could survive at night in the van. After 10 hours of driving, I needed a bed and a shower. This is our room. Not too much, not too little. It's perfect. It's 175 Qs. I'm gonna call the currency Qs. So you gotta deal with that. I don't want to say quetzals every single time. Just taking a little stroll. We have to walk Everest regardless. And yeah, just trying to find some dinner. We'll pick this up tomorrow and see our journey towards Guatemala City.
Hey, we have a big surprise.